This drama here, man. Let me get my guy Garry Cobb in here. Woo, man, never a cold moment, Garry.
Yeah, well, you know what? I think this is a good point, though. That I think there's some good things that very interesting. And I've been around this, of course. Being a player and then getting involved with the media and everything. But I think there's some things going on that are good discussion points. I have a perspective of it, but I think that somebody needs to talk to AJ. Really, he's got to realize, look, and I got into this after I finished playing. I'm working on WIP. It's entertainment. Okay. See, guy has to know this is entertainment. Our job here is to entertain. And I've had to tell players, look, dude, if this is not in your best interest, then don't do the interview.
This isn't the law, Garry.
That's right. It's not the law. It's about entertainment. And see, somebody's got to sit down with him and explain that to him. Go, look, man. Some of the stuff you're wasting your time, because the guy that's doing the show, he's got to be entertaining. He can't be boring. So he got to say things, and just like when we were out on the playground when we were kids, back in Stanford. I'm out there. I'm imitating Willie Mays. I'm imitating, Mickey Mantle. Come on, come on. We were not. We didn't know the depth of the game like those guys did, but we were imitating them. This was entertainment for us. And, anything that they were involved with, we would have been going over there to see what they were doing and stuff. But this is entertainment. And see, guys get that mixed up to realize, look, man, don't sweat this stuff, okay? Go handle your business. Your main job is you guys be ready to play. So talking and the interaction with the team is very important and everything. But you can't let, where you start taking this stuff too seriously, man. You can't.
Garry, that is totally my point here with this and why I've been goofing on him, because
you
make $25 million a year.
Yeah.
You're a star receiver.
Yeah.
So a serious question though. Is this a big thing or little thing in the locker room and the relationship with Hurts? Because if I'm Jalen and I'm watching this, this is somewhat Owen's kind of unhinged shit here. It's just different. I mean, Garry, the best teams that don't have the noise are the teams that go on and have great success. I mean, your takeaway from this?
Well, I think they need to talk. They need to sit down and talk. And, this kind of conversation where you talk about what's going on in the team. But the big thing is they just got to realize that all this other stuff, even the news, is more entertainment than it is news. Because if you're boring, nobody wants to watch, So you even see, come on, look at the news people. They're all over the sports. Sometimes they don't even do any news. They do all sports. I mean, going like, are you going to give the sports a chance to do sports? You guys are all doing sports because that's what they wanted. They got, you got to have people watching. Okay. And so if you explain the guy the business and tell him, look, don't take this seriously. Like, this is personal. It ain't, but you got to handle your business out there on the field. You guys got to be ready to play. That's mainly your job. Don't take this too serious, man. Cause we're having a good time. And once a guy starts, and I could just see him. See, times I see him, but see, he's kind of a guy though who he didn't grow up in Philly. He grew up down in the South. Okay,
laid back,
and he didn't grow up in Miami. Okay,
laid back.
He grew up in Mississippi. See, so he means well. But see, the guys on the team, they got to tell him,
when he said, Garry, on that interview that, gee, man, if you're a media person and you cover the team, you should be rooting for the team. I was like this. If you really think that in that city, you are sadly mistaken, Mr. Delusional. That's not going to happen there.
See, but that's been his perspective. I'm sure down in Tennessee, everybody was pretty much rooting for the team. But
Oh yes.
you come to the big, you come and you come up here in the Northeast. It's not like that. You got people that are in the media, and see he's got to just see that. And once he sees that clearly, and some of his teammates may look. Let's talk about this. So he realized, don't take any of this stuff personal. And even somebody come and ask him a question, you don't even take it that serious. This guy's trying to do his job. You got to do your job. Don't take this stuff personal, But if you take everything personal, then you'll be pulling your hair out of your head.
Absolutely.
You take everything to heart. Like, let's say you're sitting there listening to the radio. Man, that guy, now, the thing is, you got a lot of people have no football expertise at all. On the radio, when they call in, you got, Joe the barber is calling in talking about he didn't like the way Hurts threw that last pass. Okay, now really, Joe the barber doesn't have a clue what play that was. He doesn't know what Jalen was looking at, or for that matter, when AJ cut inside, he had no idea about what AJ was trying to do and what he had to do. And so, this is entertainment though, because a lot of people that are talking, let's say, you talk about sports radio, have no expertise.
None.
The guy that called in, nice guy, but he's a baker. Okay. The guy bakes cakes. Like, listen.
Hey, that bubble screen? Hang on for a minute, honey. The donuts and the cupcakes are almost ready. Get them out for me. That bubble screen, Dan, I'm sick of it.
Dan, what you're saying, I've lived this. Meaning, like, because you go in there to get the cake, the baker's trying to explain to you what kind of offense they need to be running. This guy never played football, even on the smallest level. But they are the fans and they are paying the bills. So that's why, you sit there, you let the guy talk, but you keep it in the right perspective and go, that's Joey such and such. And he's a good guy. I know his kid, and they're nice people. But because listen, I've had them follow me in the bathroom, coming with opinion, So, I'm not going to be nasty with people. Now, I do go, hey, look, I'm going to use the bathroom, man. Okay, so chill out for a minute. I'll be back.
Hey, excuse me. I'm a little busy here. I'll get to you in a minute.
but the way Eagle fans are, their heart is in it.
Yeah.
Their heart is in it. That's why I'll sit there and listen to them and comment on their perspective or their opinion. And sometimes, you see a lot more ladies getting involved now. The ladies got their opinion about, they need to run more RPOs, I'm serious. This is why, you've got so many people talking about the game, because there are people interested in it. So, and that's one of the reasons that AJ's making $25 million a year. So you don't shun those people. They love the game. You just keep everything in its perspective and realize that the guys that are on the air, hey, they got to be entertaining. So don't take any of the stuff that's serious. Come on. You got guys talking about, let's say, somebody's personality. They're not a psychiatrist. Come on. You know what I mean?
Why? Right. Get this. And this is what I'm trying to do today. People are going like this. You're all over the place. I go, so is he.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to be here. Act like Devontae. Act like a pro. Don't go down these rabbit holes.
Yeah.
You're a superstar ball player.
Yeah.
You're hanging out at low-hanging fruit.
That's right.
Why?
That's right. Well, because he didn't know. See, he didn't know. And he means well. That's why he got involved in that. But, his teammates, the guys, got to tell him, look, man, don't bother getting caught up into all of that,
IT's not going to help him. They're going to facilitate it more because they want ratings. So
Correct.
Again, what I try to tell players all the time is, you really think that benefited you? Calling WIP up, it benefited them, and they used you. You have to be smarter than that.
The thing is, though, they're not going to hang up on it.
Hell no, I wouldn't.
This fell into our lap. Hey, AJ, how's it going, buddy? And you're going to get into the talk, but the thing is, I think you just got to have a few conversations, and because this is not something new. Because see, I was involved. Well, really, I was kind of around WIP when really kind of was first starting, and I was just trying to understand it myself. That hey, we're here talking sports, but a lot of the guys, in fact, Seth was one of the guys. Seth was playing, so some of those guys would say, and they're talking about Buddy. And they're talking about the team, and I got to comment. I'm commenting about them. These were my former teammates. But I had to tell them, look, man, I'm in there just having a good time, man. Don't sweat. I ain't trying to go hard after nobody. So, but at the same time, you got to be able to take a joke. Okay. So don't take it too seriously. And then at the same time, if you know you don't play well, that's not my fault. If you didn't play well, so you expect me to cover for you. Hey, you're my man and everything, but I'm not going to cover for you where if you didn't play well, come on, you didn't play well.
Hey, Gary, I gotta ask you this because you said this, and I think not very many people circled it enough because you said something on our show in September. No, last year when Jalen signed that contract, and in D Gunn's report, I thought about it. You went like this. Hey, no, and then you said, we'll see what happens. As the season went on, probably about week 13, you went like this. I'd like to have had a veteran quarterback behind him, and I'd like to have had some people that could help him kind of go through what is being asked of him.
Yep.
Because, he's in a different place now than he was a year ago. And Gary, I don't think that those statements can have been more profound than when you heard those comments or saw those comments that D Gunn said that Jalen's struggled with all the people pulling him in different angles. And that was to your point that you said, hey, he needs to have maybe a better safety system around him. A veteran quarterback would have been somebody. Right. Give me your thoughts on that again and reflect back on what you said there.
I see this, because I'm walking in locker rooms. You see the players. I saw, guys like I went through this with Randall Cunningham. I saw him become a star. It took him a while. He couldn't handle all of it right away because it just came, where he had this great game on Monday Night Football where he against the Giants where one of the linebackers, it was Banks, tried to cut him. He made this unbelievable play and threw a touchdown.
Like Gumby.
Yeah, that's right. All of a sudden, everybody's got the cameras there in front of him. Hey, he's a young kid from out in California, where it's, Santa Barbara, California. He wasn't ready for all this stuff. So it really kind of overpowered him. Of course, this happened with Donovan, where he became a star. I saw this happen with these guys, and especially right here with the Eagles. So I know, and the money has gotten so big now to where, depending on who his agent is, see, if they're not experienced, where they go, look, we can't be calling him about every little thing, okay? We got to let him play football now. And then also where, do you want other deals? Yeah, you want other deals, but you can't get just landslided with all these other, commercials.
Like Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, where it gets to be, like too much where, and I will give a credit that some of the guys will realize, look, football comes first. I don't let anything get in the way of football. That means if I got 3 deals over here, hey, I can't do. You tell your guy, look, I can't do all that, and leave me alone, man. I got a big game coming up. I don't need you guys bothering me. He's got to be able to say that to his people, see, because there could be all kind of money falling into his hands, but see, you just can't let it overwhelm you, and relationships and everything. You got to have a cover around you, especially when you become the marquee quarterback and everybody's beating on your door, because you're not ready for all that. And those are the kind of things that happen. And for that matter, I think that they need to have somebody talking to AJ too. He's not in Tennessee anymore. There's a difference when you're playing in Philadelphia. You know that it's a difference.
Oh, completely.
And so you talk to him about it. That's all. You said, hey, look, man, let me tell you something. Forget all the stuff that's going on the radio and everything. Because, whatever. Don't sweat it, man. It ain't no big thing, because you're not going to be able to, like if you try to control it, right? And this is what happened. Hey, when I first got on, I was on the radio. I would have, now there's a certain guy, I'm not going to say his name, but he would be going, man. I said, man, you got to stop listening to the radio, man. This is a former teammate that's playing with the Eagles. Well, no, this guy wasn't. He was younger, but anyway, he's telling me, man, I heard a guy call you last night. I told him, man, you got to stop listening to this, man. Just play. Don't worry about it. I said, that guy that called him last night, I think that guy, he puts up, walls like in houses. That's what he does for a living. What are you worried about him talking about you? And in fact, he didn't think you had a good game. Don't sweat it, man. You got to stop listening. But he's going like, I don't listen. But there was a guy that called you last night. I see, man, you guys, see. And so I would tell the guys, look, do not take this to heart. And you don't, maybe, if you can't handle it, some guys can handle it where they can let everything brush off their back. Some guys do not need to listen to it. They don't.
Absolutely. Gary, I got to ask you about a couple last questions here.
Mm-hmm.
So Jalen Ramsey came out and said this. Now, this is the fourth guy now in that Dolphin team. He came out and told Armando Salguero down in South Florida, the Hall of Fame voter, that Vic Fangio struggled by putting Xavier Howard and him in positions of success, and said that his schemes were a little bit outdated and not many people really liked the way he was utilizing some of the talent. And some of the people in here did bring up, hey, they broke the Dolphin sack record, but if you took a look at some of those games against some of the dominant teams,
mm-hmm.
they were not very good against the run,
mm-hmm.
and they were not very good against the pass. And Jalen Ramsey said, hey, I'm not really trying to throw any shade at the guy. But I thought the defenses were antiquated and out of date.
Well,
what's your take on that?
I think that's something we need to look at. This is something, of course, that I've experienced in the game. Now you would know about this just before you came to the Cowboys and Jimmy took over.
Yeah.
I saw
the flex defense.
Yeah, I saw Tom Landry. He had that flex defense. It was outdated. But see, he had been ahead of the NFL for a long time, like 20 years. But then it went by him. This is something we got to watch out for, to see if the league can go by you, And so this is something that I think that we need to take a good look at, and we'll see how it plays out. That just think that just because, he's supposed to have this system and it's gonna be so great and everything, we know that doesn't work like that. He's got to go out there. These guys got to go out and play well. And that he doesn't really have an aggressive system. So it's going to be interesting to see if indeed, he's got some holes in that defense, and a good offense, if you give them long enough to study you, they're going to create some problems for you, because that's why they pay these guys. So
I remember showing up in Dallas because I was in the building right when Landry, because it was like I got there a month and Landry got fired, but we were doing these OTAs. I looked over at Randy White and I go, you guys going a 4-point stance? And he goes like this. Yeah, that's what the flex is. I go, you play in a 4-point stance. He goes, don't you? I go, I've never been in a 4-point stance in my life.
Hey, totally outdated. Totally outdated. And I was talking to Tom Landry. Now this is one here. I'm playing for the Cowboys, okay? Buddy Ryan's up there, and we got into a talk about the Eagles defense. I say, Coach, they got keys on everything, and everything is the design. He said, what are you talking about? He said he just got everybody running all over the place. And I said, Coach, no, Coach. I said, every formation you get into, they jump into a different defense, and they have a different blitz for every formation you get into, because they have a blitz you can't pick up, see, but they have automatics and everything changes. And he was here talking like this. Now, the year before, the Bears had beaten them 44-0.
Whoa.
Yep. That's the year they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right?
85.
Yeah. They beat them 44-0. Now you figure you would step back and go, they might be doing something that's better than I think what they're doing. Here he was saying that. Now, and Tom Landry was a brilliant man. But you see, even the greatest, the game can go by you. And so this is something we better keep an eye on right here because, it doesn't take long. And then if you have success, just like this what happened last year with the Eagles, everybody was studying the RPOs. How can we get Jalen out of these RPOs? Now, the big thing we're going to see this year is, can they create an offense where they can give him the opportunity to still run those, where they show so many different things, where they have him under center, where they're running the ball with different running plays, where they put the defense in a position where they can't take away everything. But this is a battle. This is why everybody loves the game, because you can't take anything for granted. What you did last year don't mean jack this year. You got to do it this year. And everybody, like, these guys are sitting somewhere right now, like that. I got to give my man with the Raiders. He said they're sitting there right now. They're studying
Antonio Pierce.
Yeah, and that's what this game is. Now, somebody like last year after the Eagles went to the Super Bowl, I guess they went over there up in the meeting room, twiddling their thumbs. Hey, man, we got to make. And everybody's working on stopping those RPOs. And guess what? They stopped those RPOs.
They did. Final question for you.
Yeah.
What did you think about, again, referencing the D Gun report, that Nick Sirianni needed a babysitter on the sidelines to keep his emotions? And I say this, Gary, dude, this guy's not mature enough for that job. It's one thing for me to say some shit because I'll go crazy and I'm looking to entertain. Here's a guy that is a reporter here, and you could take that, I think, at face value, where he said once Dom got thrown out of that and suspended after that San Francisco game, he's screaming at coaches, he's screaming at players. I mean, doesn't it kind of tie in to how this thing unraveled at the end of the year where you go 1-7?
I think it definitely does, and this is something, and I, like I said, I don't want to bury the guy. I think Nick, he's got his heart in the right place, but this is a lot. Hey, join the club. I've had to learn, in fact, I'm still learning. Okay. We all got to learn. He has got to look, dude, stop it with the nonsense. Come on. I'm looking at you on the sideline. Dude, we got another play coming in. What are you over here arguing with somebody? You're the head coach. You're supposed to be telling the other guys, hey, Ralph, get your head in the game. You're supposed to be chewing out the young kids like that. But here you got, I saw Jalen one time go, hey, coach, he's tripping. I'm like, dude, you can't be tripping like that. You've got to be 3 plays ahead. You're supposed to be thinking. And you got to be on it. And his main job, in that he's not calling the plays and everything, his main job, he's supposed to be thinking 3 and 4 series ahead. Are we going to punt here? Are we going to do that fake punt that we think will work? When are we going to do it? He's supposed to be thinking like, rather than that, he's over there arguing with some stupid fans. You know what Buddy Ryan told us? You keep arguing with those fans, you're going to be up there with them.
You're going to be sitting next to him up there doing that. Gary, let me sneak one last one in. You think Nolan Smith's a player or not?
Wait, say that again?
You think Nolan Smith's a player or no?
He's got to develop. I don't know. I can't say he's ready yet. I don't see the strength. The power you see with Hassan Reddick. He's got the speed, but you see him do power things. And the kid's got to get in the weight room. He's got to get stronger. There are times when you see some of these offensive tackles just discard him. Because he just needs to get more. He's got to get stronger. He's never going to be a pounder. His speed is one of his best assets and everything. But he's got a ways to go. I can't say that he cannot be a great player. I think he can be an outstanding player, but he's got a lot of work to do. And see, this is what they got to be doing now. You got to have somebody over there right now cracking that whip. That's what it's got to be, man. It's got to get nasty. And you know what? Maybe you don't like the guy. You got to have somebody over there that's making enemies, but we're going to get our work in. And you have the guy, look, hey, don't even think I'm taking no trips. You're going to be here we drafted you early. We got to get something out of you. You know, we can't have people throwing you around like they did last year. So you got to get some bass in your voice. You need to get a little bass in your voice. You know? So, but
hey, no asthma fields, right?
Yeah. But
Hey.
I'll tell you, you know, those other guys got to work too, man. I don't know if they're over there working. They better be, you know, Jalen and Jordan
Hey,
and those
this is
guys.
what Clint Hurt told me. He's a Miami Hurricane, the new D-line coach.
Yeah.
He said this about Jordan Davis. Jordan Davis is not a guy that's going to, if you have 10 sprints to close practice out, he's going to run 10 sprints. Once that whistle blows, he's putting his pants on and he's going home.
Yeah.
He's not the guy that's going to go run an extra 10 on his own time because he's not built that way. That's what he sees so far.
Well, all I know is if you want to be a great player, you got to put in the work, man. You got to put in the work
on your own time, right?
That's right. You know, and you got to do it on your own time. And then, you know, here is the most important place, which is you got to know the game. You got to be able to anticipate things. You know what they're going to do to you. You come out and you got an idea how what play they're going to run and how they're going to block you. And you study the people you're playing. And all of that goes into being the kind of outstanding player that those guys that they drafted them to be. But you got to put in the work, man. And they got to have people over there that are pushing them, you know, different players on the team that are over there working, because these guys got to grow up. I mean, because they got to count on them this year.
Absolutely, Gary. Especially we got to count on AJ Owens to stop moaning a little bit here. Hey, you see, right there, that would bug him. And you know what? I'm here to help him. Yeah. I want him not to worry about that. Gary, thank you, my friend.
That's right. The guy's going to be cracking on him about it. You better believe it. They'll be having some laughs with him.
Thank you, Gary. I appreciate it. Yeah. Hey, that's right. He knows it because Gary's going to tell him. AJ Owens. See, this is what Big Sills is here for. Okay? This is what Big Sills is here for. To help AJ Owens. What a damn shame about your guy, man. Huh? What a shame. Truth, justice, in the Big Sills way. That's right. That should be a t-shirt or a hat or the motto of the Eagles. Truth, justice, and the Big Sills way. Big old JAKIB flag. Big Sills' face on it. Make the Philadelphia Eagles great again. Woo! Make the Eagles great again. Man, what a damn shame, man. Your guy Davis doesn't want to work hard to be great. You know what we call that? He's a time card pusher. Puts his time card in, clicks in and out, goes home. Guy relies on his ability too much instead of the desire of the game that's going to be needed to make him great. I'm good. You're not. You're kind of good. I told you the day he was drafted, he's never lived up to his athleticism